Today I'm sharing a super simple meal prep hack for busy people. So grab a mug of your favorite beverage and join me for today's nutrition coffee chat. And while you're at it, click the subscription button below and the little notification bell so that you get everything you need to create healthy eating habits that stick. Well, if you're a busy person, you're definitely in the right place. The clients whom I serve are busy people. They have really a lot going on in their lives, but they also want to make healthy eating actually happen. And so a lot of what I do with folks is create really simple techniques, simple habits around healthy eating so that they actually can fit in their overstuffed lives. And so I wanted to share one of those with you today. And now just before I even go there, I want to back you up. If you're like, meal prep, and you're picturing, those people who post on social media where they've got like the whole kitchen counter, like meal prep for a month or whatever. That is not where we're going. So do not fear, stay tuned, because what I'm sharing is actually quite the opposite technique. What I call this technique is the while you're at it technique. Because here's the thing, when you're busy, how you use your time is so critical. You have to be almost ruthless with how you choose to spend your time. You need to get a lot done. Your time is valuable. It's the only thing you can't expand, how many hours we have in the day. And so you need to get a lot done with that time. And so I really love in this technique, because you're already in the kitchen. I call it the while you're at it technique. While you're at it, while you're in the kitchen, let's amplify that effort. Let's amplify what you get out of the time you spend in there. Because here's the thing, I see all the time. People get into the kitchen and you prepare just what you want to eat right then, right? It's lunchtime, you go in there, you make lunch. You want a snack, so you go in the kitchen, you make a snack. It's dinner time, you gotta get feeding maybe the kids or yourself, so you get in the kitchen, you make dinner for tonight. And that's it. There's no amplification of your effort. There's no leveraging your time that you're spending in there. And so this technique I call while you're at it. While you're in the kitchen already, let's amplify the time and effort that you put in there so that you get more food, more healthy eating out of it. You set yourself up for future meals, future snacks. Now, if you've ever made enough dinner so that you can pack the leftovers for lunch tomorrow, you've already been using this. But I've got other ideas for how to take it to that next level. So for the application of the while you're at it technique, there's two ways you can apply it. The first I call a little bit extra. And so that's that technique, as I said. You make a little bit of extra dinner so that you can have lunch leftovers tomorrow. But so many other ways that you can do it. For example, I love an oatmeal for breakfast in the morning, but I am not making oatmeal from scratch every single morning. You can make a big batch of oatmeal and eat that all week, right? You're making a little bit extra. If you're taking the time to make oatmeal, cook a little bit extra. I often do that with brown rice, for example. Brown rice takes 45 to 60 minutes. Well, if I have that time, I'll make brown rice, but why would I make brown rice just for tonight? It's just the same amount of time. I mean, okay, you have to scoop a bit more cups of water, but really that little bit extra time and effort of scooping some more water and some more rice to make a bigger batch of rice, then you can put that in the fridge or you can put that in the freezer so that when you have like 20 minutes to make a quick stir fry, you can serve it over brown rice instead of like an instant rice because you've already got that brown rice cooked. Other ways you can apply the little bit extra. For example, maybe your recipe calls for an onion that you need to dice. Well, maybe the recipe calls for half an onion. Well, why would you only dice half an onion? You put in that little bit extra effort to dice the whole onion, put the other half in the fridge, and hey, you're probably going to use that for a recipe coming up. I mean, chances are another recipe you're going to make this week calls for diced onion. So, hey, you don't even have to make your eyes sting twice this week. You do it once, you get two out of it. The same with something like carrots. Maybe the recipe calls for carrots, and what I'll do is I'll just wash a few extra carrots, and while you're at it, you do that little bit extra of chop up a few extra carrots into, say, some carrot sticks, put those in the fridge. You've got those now for packing lunches or for a quick snack. They're ready to go. That's that little bit extra technique. And I love that because it gets you set up for the next day. The other technique I call is the using your downtime. And so, or multitasking could be another one. Because many times when you make a recipe, there's lulls in that recipe, right? You're waiting for the water to boil, or you're waiting for something to cook, and you're just kind of standing there twiddling your thumbs. Well, why not use that time to be preparing something else? So why not use that time to cut up some raw veggies and put them in the fridge? Maybe some broccoli florets, the carrots, for example, some cucumbers. Maybe you rinse some grapes and put them in a Tupperware container ready to go for snacks, or pop them into the freezer so you have that kind of sweet frozen treat. Maybe that's, as I said, you cut up some raw veggies, you put them there. Maybe often what I do, another way of kind of applying this is if I'm using the oven and I just need one rack for the dish. Well, I'll get the other rack in there and I will fill up that oven, right? That multitasking. If I'm turning on the oven, I might as well fill that sucker and get as many things out of it as possible. So I might cut up half a squash, cut a squash in half, scoop out the seeds, and roast it on the other rack. Maybe I'll wrap some beets in tin foil with a little bit of olive oil, get those roasted that I can then use for like a roasted beet salad another day, maybe for lunch or a side dish to a meal. Maybe I've got a whole tray of some veggies like carrots and parsnips and things that I can roast a tray of that in, or cauliflower or Brussels sprouts or broccoli. I mean, so many veggies taste amazing roasted, and whether you eat them warm for that meal, or what I love to do is do that and then have them in the fridge for like a snack. I might have a little handful of nuts and some roasted root vegetables for a snack, or they can be great ingredients for like a Buddha bowl later in the week for a lunch. Why not? Those are awesome. The Buddha bowl technique is great for that brown rice, maybe that I cooked that little bit extra. Prepare the brown rice with some roasted root vegetables. Oh, and maybe, I'm using only one burner on my stove, so maybe I'll get something else cooking on other burners, right? Maybe that's when I might cook my brown rice for a future meal. Maybe I'll hard boil some eggs, right? And don't just hard boil 2 eggs, hard boil like 6 or however many fit in your pot without bouncing around and cracking and get, into each other. And so then you have those in the fridge, right? So maybe I'll use roasted root vegetables, the leftover brown rice, and some hard boiled eggs. Oh, that sounds like a great Buddha bowl. Often in that downtime, I might soak some beans. Then maybe the next day again, I might use the burners that aren't being used for that dinner to then boil up the beans, and I can then use them for future meals in a stir fry or a salad or in that Buddha bowl kind of idea. Lots of different ways to use those components, but you've got those components that you can then riff on and be creative with and grab for a snack or a quick meal in future busy days. But you set yourself up to succeed on that in the time you already were in the kitchen. That's the beautiful thing with the while you're at it technique. It doesn't require you to spend any extra time in the kitchen. It's leveraging the time you're already spending in the kitchen. You're becoming more efficient. You're amplifying your effort in there. And so that's why it's a great technique for busy people. Do you use any of these techniques? Do you ever cook a big batch of something and eat the leftovers? Do you ever use the while you're at it technique in any way? Let me know. Share your ideas in the comment section below. I'd love to get some ideas rolling and inspiration from each other. If you like today's video, let me know. Click the thumbs up button below. I've got a couple other meal prep hack videos here, so enjoy them. I'll see you in a couple of weeks, and in the meantime, enjoy healthy eating.